12.96-inch 3K IPS display. Reading experience is pretty rough, insensitive to write anything. CPU now is pinned at 100% consistently. That's a 31% decrease in just an hour. Whether you click on this video, maybe you are looking for a budget laptop, but you don't want to end up with something that is slow, outdated, or plain frustrating, right? Or you're just curious about what the laptop I'm going to present to you. Well, today we're going to check out the CHUWI Hi10 Max, 2-in-1 device that promised to do it all, at a price that won't break your bank. A quick disclaimer here, this video is not sponsored or affiliated by any third party or any company, so I will be 100% honest about my experience after using this laptop for 2 weeks. Alright, let's get back to our video. But is it really worth your money? Can it actually handle your everyday task? Or are we looking at another case of you get what you pay for? I'm putting it to test, from the display and performance to the stylus and camera test. By the end of this video, you will know if this is the right choice for you or just another budget letdown. So let's get started. So let's talk about spec, because this thing packs more than you may expect for a budget device. First up, it's running on an Intel N100 processor, paired with 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM. Not bad for everyday multitasking, but let's be real, don't expect to run heavy-duty apps like Photoshop smoothly. Check this out, the 12.96-inch 3K IPS display. Yeah, you heard right. The 3K resolution on a budget device, whether you are watching videos doing light work or scrolling through me socials, is surprisingly sharp. And with touch and pen support, it's got extra versatility. It also got the port you need: 2 full-featured Type-C ports, USB 3.2, micro HDMI, and of course 3.5mm audio jack for the old-school wired headphones. You won't be left scrambling for adapters with this one. Now cameras, we have got an 8MP rear and 5MP front. They are fine for your video calls or snapping quick pics, but don't expect DSLR quality here. And all of these come in just 780 grams for the laptop alone. So yeah, it's lightweight, portable, and easy to carry around, whether you are heading to class or working remotely. Finally, it's powered by 36.48 watt-hour battery, which depending on what you're doing, can get you through a solid chunk of the day. But again, we'll have to see how it holds up in real-world uses. Let's start with the keyboard. It offers 3 levels of backlighting, which is super handy for typing in dim environments. The typing experience itself is surprisingly smooth for a budget laptop. Definitely no complaints here. Next up is the stylus, which activates when you press the top button. Now here's where things fall short. The writing experience is pretty rough. It's just too insensitive to write anything. Even a smooth line is a challenge. So honestly, this stylus is only really useful as a replacement for your finger when you touch the screen, not for note-taking or any creative work. Now let's take a look at the backstand. It's actually quite solid, very similar to what the Surface Pro offers. It's adjustable and super convenient, whether you are using it to work or just watching TV. And in the tablet mode, I can easily hold it in my hand like a regular tablet to scroll through YouTube or catch up on the news. It's lightweight and works well for casual moments, but after using it for a while, it does get noticeably hot, which can make holding it in tablet mode a bit uncomfortable. The great thing is that you can combine a keyboard and a backstand, and just like that, your tablet becomes a working station. It's portable and ready to take out for work, meetings, or wherever you need to go. Now let's take a look at the laptop's performance metrics without running any specific applications. This will give us a clear idea on how it handles background process. Right now, the CPU usage is hovering around 47%, with a clock speed of 1.17 GHz. This is relatively moderate, indicating that it is handling background tasks efficiently without being overloaded. Next, we've got the memory usage at about 50%. That's around 6 GB of 11.7 GB total. This means you will still have plenty of RAM available for multitasking, which is a good sign for everyday use. Finally, looking at the GPU usage, we see it's sitting around at 30%. This indicates that the integrated Intel HD graphics are being utilized but not maxed out, which is expected when not running intensive tasks. Overall, these numbers suggest that the laptop can manage its resources well during regular use, leaving enough headroom for everyday applications without significant strain. Alright, so for real-world tests, let's see how this budget laptop handles something we all do: streaming videos. First up, let's search for Mr. Beast's latest video. No, just your casual 100 million view kind of videos. And while that's playing, let's take a look under the hood. I've got the task manager open, and wow, okay, CPU is hitting 100% usage here. That's not exactly ideal, but considering this is an Intel N100 processor, it's kind of expected when dealing with heavier content. On the RAM side, we're using about 9GB out of 12GB available, so this is definitely working hard to keep things smooth. And the integrated graphics are putting in their fair share of efforts as well. Now let's push it a little bit further. Here's a 4K video, because why not, right? And yup, same story here. The CPU is maxed out at 100%, and we are still running 9GB of RAM. The integrated graphics are pulling their weights, but the system is really sweating to keep things going. So what does that mean for everyday use? Well, casual video streaming, it got job done. But if you're thinking of multitasking or pushing it with high-resolution videos, just be prepared for the CPU to hit its limit. Let's see how this laptop handles multitasking. First, I'm opening 9 tabs in Chrome, doing some light web browsing. Checking the task manager, you can see the CPU usage is already hovering around 90% and 100%. We're using about 8.2GB of RAM, and the GPU is at 26%. Still manageable for now, but for the CPU, it's definitely feeling the load. Let's push it a little bit further. I've opened another tab with a 4K YouTube video playing, and checking the task manager again. The CPU is maxed out at 100% more frequently. RAM usage has jumped to 8.8GB, and the GPU is now at 50%. Now while it's managing, you can start to see the string. Let's push it to the limit. Now I've opened the PowerPoint, Excel, and Word alongside those Chrome tabs and the 4K video. As you can see, the CPU now is pinned at 100% consistently. RAM usage is shot up to 10GB, and the GPU is sitting at 51%. At this point, the system is clearly maxed out. But to be fair to the computer, even though this number show is maxed out, my experience has been surprisingly smooth, no major slows down, everything is still responsive, and it is handling all of the tasks without freezing up. So while it's definitely pushing its limit, the laptop still runs impressively smoothly under heavy multitasking. So let's talk about the battery life. I start with 77% battery, and after an hour of pretty heavy usage, like streaming videos, multitasking, and running apps, it drops to 46%. That's a 31% decrease in just an hour. For my testing under heavy workload, this laptop will cost you around 20% of battery per hour. This means you are looking at about 3 hours of usage on a full charge, which is decent for short sections, but you could pose a problem if you need to use it for prolonged periods without charging. Okay, now let's move on to the camera test. I'm going to test both the rear and the front cameras by capturing a video playing on another computer. This should give us a good sense of how well the cameras handle image quality and sound. In terms of image quality, the rear camera does a solid job, especially considering this is a budget device. It captures the video with decent clarity and color accuracy. The front camera, while slightly lower in resolution, still provides a good enough image for everyday use, like video calls or virtual meetings. Now, let's talk about the audio. Both cameras capture sound well enough, but here's something to keep in mind. Microphones are quite sensitive to noise. If you are in a quiet environment, you'll get decent sound quality. However, if you are near something like a fan, machinery, or any other background noise, you'll likely notice a lot of unwanted sound being picked up like this. Alright, so let's quickly recap the pros and cons of the budget 2-in-1 laptop. It's super lightweight at just 780 grams, has a stunning 3K IPS display, and comes with 12GB of RAM and 512GB SSD, which is great for multitasking and storage. Plus, you get a decent selection of ports, and it is all at a pretty affordable price point. The overall user experience is smooth. On the downside, the laptop can heat up after extended use, making it uncomfortable to hold in the tablet mode. The CPU maxes out at 100% during heavy tasks, and while the stylus is included, it's not sensitive as you would expect. Battery life can also drain faster under load, so keep an eye on that. And that's the quick rundown. It's a solid choice for light tasks, but be aware of those few limitations. Overall, this laptop brings solid value for casual use, but it does have a few limitations. Moving forward, this is my first video in this channel, ZapSnap, and I'm exploring different types of videos beyond tech reviews. If you enjoy my sharing and want to dive into a variety of topics, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.